What's up guys, Garrett here. Today I wanted to give you the conclusion to my insulation nightmare for my shop. Where did I end up with this? If you missed this video right here, I blew in cellulose insulation into the ceiling area within my shop. And it's a great concept, at least I thought it was, but it didn't work out. From an insulation standpoint, worked fantastic. The problem was the cellulose that I used had ammonium sulfate fire retardant within it, and because my shop is a very high humidity area, it off-gassed ammonia. Well, you couldn't work in here. It felt great, but you couldn't work in here. So what happened? I had to take it all down. Keep in mind, it took me about 3 weeks to get all of it up there, and that wasn't working straight all the time. That was here and there as I was able to get to it. And then it took about another 4 days to get everything down and cleaned out. So it was a big deal, and it wasted, I don't know, about $1,100. So I ended up pulling it all down, wrapping it up into big old burritos, and I gave it away on Facebook Marketplace. It was still really good insulation. I just didn't have a purpose for it. But if I would have done that exact same technique and blown in fiberglass insulation, I don't think I'd be making this video right here. I think it all would have just worked out. And you're probably wondering, well, why didn't you just put that netting back up and then blow in fiberglass insulation? Well, to put up that netting took me a long time to do, and it meant that I had to jockey stuff back and forth within my shop. Gotta remember, this is not a new build, this is an existing shop. So I have stuff in here. At any given time, there's at least 5 vehicles in here, a mower, a four-wheeler, tools, just all kinds of stuff in here. I can't afford to have all of that sitting out all of the time because of weather. So putting back up all of that netting would have taken me a lot more time. And I thought about it, I kicked it around, but I ended up getting a product that was specifically made for pole barns. It is made for the high humidity areas, exactly what I have here, and I figured, okay, I'll just buy this and I won't have to deal with it ever again. And here's what I ended up with. These are rolls of Silvercote sold by Menards. I had to special order it, but it has a paper on it that is specifically made for high humidity areas, and then of course it's then glued to the fiberglass. But the really nice thing for me is, as you can see, the width of it here, it's around 24 inches. Well, my spaces up here are on 25-inch centers, meaning that there's 23.5 inches between those purlins going across there. And the typical craft face bats are actually made for 24-inch on center, meaning that they only have 23 inches worth of that fiberglass batting, just like that, which would leave me with a 1/2 inch of space. Well, that craft paper really isn't meant for the high humidity spaces, and of course this is. So it worked out really, really well for me. I have the width that I need for this whole thing, as well as the paper that I needed. You'll notice right up here, I do have just a little bit of the craft paper insulation, and the only reason is because that last section there, it's only about 14-15 inches wide, and they didn't make this product anything less than 2 feet. But you could get this in 2-foot widths, 3-foot, 4-foot, 6-foot widths, and of course in different thicknesses. This is an R19. These things are in 36-foot lengths, so as you can see from here, that's where it would start. And one entire length would take up 4 bays of my shop, which is, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. It's really long, so it goes a long way, but I have to basically feed it over a bunch of different things, which is a little bit tricky. If you are doing this for a new build, no problem. You don't have all that stuff up there other than the trusses. But for me, it's a little bit more work. The way I am attaching it is I'm using a pneumatic air stapler. This is the Surebender one that I bought off of Amazon. Had really good reviews, and I agree, it's friggin' awesome. I just use the typical T50 staples with it. I didn't get the electric or the battery powered ones because a lot of times they're just underpowered, but these pneumatic ones have absolutely no problem putting these in. So I'm just stapling these in probably every 5 to 6 inches, And that seems to be adequate for this. Now it's obvious I still have a lot to put up. I've put up quite a bit, especially down that center ridge, because that's what I could access. But you know, when you've got car parts and engines and cars and stuff everywhere, you have to jockey stuff around. So I will get to that at some point. But the nice part is I'm just doing these runs. I can move stuff from one side to the other, get that done, put it back in place, and I don't have to have such a nasty displacement, you know, with everything. I don't have to take it all and put it outside. Obviously, I have some of this up, and you know, it's been up actually for a little while. I just haven't gotten to doing this part. However, with having this up, there are zero odors coming off of any of this, and just performance. I mean, it's instantaneous, especially whenever we are installing this. You put the fiberglass up there and you don't feel that radiant heat anymore. So it works really, really well. I cannot wait to have the rest of that shop done. But that'll be for another day. And of course, having this insulation combined with my ductless heat pumps, both of those work really, really well. Money absolutely well spent. Check out that video down in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like button down below as well as subscribe. I'll see you next time.